subtracting those fractions. We've already gone over how to add and subtract fractions before. You already know that they have to have the same common denominator. So we already know that. So we're using what we already know in order to answer this problem. All right? So the first one, we have 2 1/3 minus 1 2/3. So in order to subtract, we first need to check and make sure they have the common denominator. Absolutely. In order to subtract, we're looking at here, it says 2, and we're trying to take that from 1. Can we take 2 from 1?
No.
No, if we were just subtracting, we would just borrow, correct? We can do that same technique in fractions. In order to do that, this whole number we have to take something from it, and we're going to take a whole from the number 2. If I take a whole from the number 2, what does that change this 2 to?
1.
A 1, absolutely. So our 2 goes to a 1. Now, 2 is still 2, and 1 is still 1, so where is the missing part of 2?
It becomes a 3 over 3.
We have to convert this whole number into a mixed number in order to subtract. So this 2 becomes a 1, and we need a fraction next to it. Now, you can pick any whole that you want. In order to make a whole when using fractions, the top and the bottom must be the what? It has to be the same. So we're going to go ahead and go with what we have. Our denominator over here is 3. So the best fraction to use would be what?
3 over 3.
3 over 3. What's 3 over 3 equal to?
1.
What's 1 plus 1?
2.
2. Y'all agree?
Yes.
All right, 1 plus 1 is 2. So right here, this is just 2 rewritten as a mixed number. After we get to this point, we have to take this fraction, which is like your change. You have to take that change and add it to what you already have. If I give you change in your hand, are you going to add it to what's in your pocket? Absolutely, because now it belongs to who? Me, right? So what's 3 plus 1? 4. And my denominator stays the same, which is?
3.
And my whole number is 1, absolutely. Now we're going to rewrite what we have down here, our mixed number. And now we can subtract. What is 4 minus 2?
2.
And with my denominators, do I subtract those? They stay the same. So my denominator stays.
3.
And 1 minus 1 is?
A 0.
0. So we don't have a whole number anymore. So our answer is just 2/3. Make sense? That's with borrowing. But there's another way we can do it that Miss Stephanie likes a lot better. And this way requires you to change it to an improper fraction. In order to change to an improper fraction, we do a couple steps. What's 3 times 2
6.
plus 1?
7.
What happens to my denominator?
It
Stays the same. What's 3 times 1
3.
plus 2?
5.
And my denominator
Stays the same.
stays the same. So now what's 7 minus 5?
2.
And my denominator is?
3.
Now we just did the same problem 2 different ways. Which way you like better?
That way.
You like this way? Absolutely. It requires a little less work, but both ways get you the same answer, right? So either way works perfectly. So I hope that you guys understand how to subtract fractions by borrowing or converting to improper fraction. All right?
All right.